Freeway, Suite 1700 in the T-Mobile Tower on the feeder of Highway 59 in Houston, Texas, or on Main Street in League City, Texas. We're happy to discuss any of these treatments featured on this show as we incorporate all of these based on a patient's need. Subscribe to YouTube on Pain Diaries Dr. Manzi to catch all my shorts and episodes, bringing you all things pain-related and educational information on the newest and best technologies out there to make your life better. Remember, this is Pain Diaries. Take care of you so you can take care of business.
This has been a NowMedia Television feature presentation. All rights reserved. Broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world, you are watching NowMedia Television.
Hi, I'm your business guide and host, Michael Rager, here on Biz Talk TV on the NowMedia Television networks. I'm telling you, this is the time of year that as business owners, we really got to get, running and gunning. We're finishing up Q1. Things are going forward. Tax season, we're trying to put that behind us. We're trying to get everything in line to make sure we really go ahead and push our business forward, because that's what it's all about, pushing our businesses forward to success, success, success. And it's going to be really important as we start talking about some of the right people on our teams, how things are going to happen in relationships that we're going to have. So we got some great guests today. We got Kat, Kat's in today. She's going to talk about different types of relationships in our business. We got Leo Simpson's going to be here. We're going to talk about some great things about, work and home, how these things come together. Eric Harrison, great things are going to be here. And of course, Kristen Gunderson. We're going to talk about fractional CFOs and how they're going to help your business. But these are the type of relationships that we got to look at as business owners, because they're very impactful for what we do. We want to understand that everything that we do for a business serves a purpose. One of the things we're going to talk about today with Eric is, hey, how do we look at our grandioso vision, the things that we're going to look at, but make sure we don't miss out on the real things that matter in life. And that's really what's important about business. This is why, as business owners, we didn't sign up for the 9 to 5. We don't get up and go to work and go, follow the cattle in and out. We went into business so we could do something different. We can actually live our life on our own terms. And that's what it's about. And that's what we want to show here on Biz Talk TV. We want to show how you, the business owner, can live a better life and get what you want to get. So these are the things we're going to cover today. We're going to have some great people, great guests, great subjects. Don't change the channel. I'm Michael Rager, NowMedia TV, Biz Talk TV, your business guide. We're going to be right back.
The tax and bookkeeping team is key to any successful business. At Gunderson's Bookkeeping, our passion is to help small business owners grow, be profitable, and to prosper. We specialize in supporting small to mid-sized business owners who want to hire a full-time or even a part-time bookkeeper, but just do not have the funds. In addition, we free business owners from the tedious tasks of bookkeeping and help them focus on their business operations, their growth, and profitability. Gunderson's Bookkeeping is your business solutions partner, offering a broad range of services to meet the needs of our clients. A profitable business needs accurate and reliable books, so take a strong step and call us today for your personal, no-risk consultation.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business host and guide, Michael Rager, here on the NowMedia Television networks. All right, one of my favorite people is Kat Becker. Kat, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Michael. Wonderful to see you as always.
I know. It's more fun last week when you were sitting here with us, But I understand you had that long trek in from the north side of town to get the studio, so we'll give you an excuse this time.
I'll try maybe like once a month to come in, because otherwise you'll just get used to it and it won't be special anymore.
Oh, yeah. All right, today we're going to talk about relationships, but we're going to talk about special kinds of relationships, right? We're going to talk about transactional versus transformational relationships. What are the differences between the two, and why do we need to, figure them out?
And we can even break it down further than just relationships. We can say that there are just transitional activities that we do and transformational activities. And the more that we're doing one or the other is going to affect what kind of relationship that looks like. So think of it this way. It's a really great way to think of it is in terms of like an email. An email is generally a really transactional thing that someone does. It's what I want, what they want. It's not visionary, it's not looking forward. It's just, this is what I'm needing out of this. This is what I'm expecting. You send the email and that's where it goes. But then when you're thinking of something that's more transformational, like what could happen if you picked up the phone and called that person? You're going to get more clues as to the mindset of that person based on the tonality of their voice, the intonation, how they're speaking. That gives you more clues, but also it's more open-ended. Like, yes, you could be calling with a very specific question in mind, something that you're needing to work on, but you can get other information during that piece that you might not have gotten through that email, and you never know where it's going to go. So that's really, when you break it down, the difference between the transactional versus the transformational is the transactional has a very clearly defined start and stop with a clear expectation. Or transformational is more undefined as to what that transformation could be, what it could lead to.
So there's certain times that we need to do transactional, discussions in relationships. How do we figure out when to move them? Because I take it there's definitely an advantage to occasionally take transactional to transformational. How do we figure that out?
That is an absolutely fantastic question. Let's think of it in terms of customers. So if we keep our customer relationship only in the transactional, meaning they need our service or product, they contract hire us to provide that service or product, we provide it, that's the end. That's super, super transactional, right? If we want to take that into a transformational one, that can be things like having a follow-up phone call or email or touch point, or, sending your clients a gift card or flowers or something extra that can help make that more of a transformational relationship versus just a transactional one. So it's those little things. And the reason why you would do that is you're going to have more loyalty from that customer. You're going to have more repeat business, probably get some referrals in. It just helps them build your business because you took that time, even though it was minute. It makes a big difference on the other end, even if you don't know where that's going to go.
Well, one of the things I think you're going to see out of it is ultimately a transformational relationship is going to lead to more transactions, not necessarily with that one person. But as you said, the referral network, this goes out, and one of my good friends, Jason Jimenez, calls it the spider web effect. Things just start going out from there. So
absolutely,
how do we make that pivot? I mean, it sounds simple, and not everybody wants to be transformational with us. How do we figure out who wants to be transformational and who to be transformational with versus who not to?
Oh, man.
I know. You said I gave you a great question. Now I'm going to stump you.
Yeah, I'm going to need a minute for my brain to catch up to that question, because you're right. There's going to be times when it is only going to be transactional, and knowing when to do that is going to be so different and so personalized and individualized to each person that I'm not sure if there's a complete rule of thumb. I think one of the things that we lose so much in business is trusting our instincts and being able to listen to that little voice inside of when things could be moving. But, even if you are entering a relationship and an activity, the transformational piece comes from thinking about more of the other person rather than being more I-centric. It's looking at it as what can we do together? What is the potential there? And being more visionary. So there's plenty of times where I've gone into relationships where I'm coming at it from a transformational space because that's more of my, sort of natural bend, but they come at it from a transactional, and that's completely fine. So it's more of where you're wanting to go and what your sort of level is for wanting to grow and what your sort of growth mindset is.
I had one of my early mentors used to tell me every time we got in the relationship, we needed to look at a win-win-win relationship, no matter where we were. Because he said we're always, this is the 80s, we're always talking win-win. But he said win-win-win is because if I win, you win, somebody else is going to win. And if we look at the relationship and we look at the discussions that way as the triple win, I think that really delves more into the transformational side, because we're not just affecting me. I'm just not affecting you. The things that we do together can affect other people, and we've got to make sure it happens in a positive way, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every one of us are connected in so many ways. We don't really have a we culture. That's not really a thing that you see. It is so much about the I, about the ego, about how that is affecting, rather than having a more general outlook on how things can work together. And I think from the employer standpoint, there's a real benefit to moving from more transactional relationships with their employees into more transformational ones. Every company is going to have their A players, B players, and C players. But if you're not working with them and helping them to grow as well, then they're going to stay where they're at. You could have some B players move into A players move into A++ players, and help you to identify who those C players are so you can, help them to exit your company.
Well, I think one of the things I love to deal with is helping people employ new people. And one of the stumping questions I like to ask new prospects is, you're not going to be here forever. What do you need to get from this relationship in order for me to help you get to the next level?
That's a great question.
They're like, what? And that's what it is, because no matter what we're at, we're not staying forever.
No. No, and we shouldn't, because that's stagnation. Stagnation, that's not a word. Stagnation.
It's not 1950 anymore either. Nobody goes to a job and expects to work there 35 years and retire with a gold watch and sent with a pension out to pasture. That doesn't happen anymore. It's everybody's looking kind of for more and more and more. And that more is not necessarily money. That more is fulfillment and all these other things that you deal with. So as employers, how else should we look at maybe onboarding new employees to help them get into the transformational mode?
It's so perfect that this is where our conversation led, because I actually had a conversation this morning with someone talking about, they were the manager of this area, and they had certain people under them, and there was this one person who was doing a fantastic job. And the manager sat down with this employee and said, what can we do to help you to grow to get to the next level? And the employee actually answered, I don't want to go to the next level. They were very happy and content where they are. So even though we think of it as a 1950s mentality to get a job and stay there still are people out there that's really what they want, and that's okay. It's about meeting people where they're at in order to get them to where they need to go. So it's a great interview question, because it shows, what sort of ambition does this person have? What motivates them? Because that's something as an employer that you want to know about all your employees. Are they motivated by money? Are they motivated by recognition? Are they motivated by status? What are those things? And that way you can use those as levers, because while you have that employee, you want to get the most out of them that you possibly can. And so knowing that up front is a great way to start that work relationship.
Yeah, I know. One of my mentors used to say, you can't motivate your people. How do you get motivated people? Well, you hire motivated people. Right. It's this isn't it. This isn't carrot and the carrot and the ox. You're not going to get out there and get people to move that way. So we've got a minute or two left, Kat. So if people want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you, and why do they want to get a hold of you? Not just because you're fun and you come on here and you tell me I do ask perfect questions. Why do they want to get a hold of you?
They can email me at kat@coachwithkat.com, and I really work with employers to help find those A++ players that are on their team and help to optimize and retain those ones to get them to really the best possible outcome that they could get within their employees.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm telling you guys, if you guys really want to help your people grow, your business grow, it's all about culture, and Kat's an expert at helping you put together the right culture to really get your business grow. So I really appreciate you being on here and giving me the props today. I love it. I thank you so much for telling me I asked a great question. Not just one, but two today. And
yes.
So you made me feel
You were
good.
hitting home runs today, man.
I know. I'm going to feel great for the rest of the day. So thank you so much, Kat.
As you should, as we all should.
All right, we're going to see you next time, Kat. Thanks a lot. I'm Michael Ridge, your business guide here on Biz Talk TV. We're going to be back right after this. That was great.
If you have the perfect health insurance plan and you don't want to save any money, you might want to stop listening now. However, if you are like the rest of us who know that the #1 cause of bankruptcy is unexpected medical costs due to subpar coverage, you really want to listen closely. Even if you owe 20% of your medical costs for a large claim, like cancer or a bad accident, it will wipe out the wealth you have worked for your entire career. That's why when it comes to choosing health insurance, it's important to get the right coverage for you and your family. I'm April Clark with Clark Health Insurance. My mission and passion is to simplify the process for small business owners, families, and self-employed individuals. Protect your health and start saving money on your insurance today.
Hey, this is Michael Rager, the host of Biz Talk TV with Michael Rager. Make sure you join us every day, 5 p.m. Central Time on all NowMedia channels and social media platforms. Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business guide and host, Michael Rager, with
Eric Harrison.
Eric Harrison. This is it. We're just co-host this crap. It'll be more fun. So, all right, man, we got some time here. We're going to go through vitals. VITALS. All right.
Yep.
Last time we went through, we won't go there. So give us a quick overview of VITA.
All right. So VITA, values, interest, temperament, and activity timing. Those are the last 4 we've talked about so
All right,
far.
man. So now we're coming to LNS. All right,
Right.
LNS. What's going on there? How do we finish out the vitals?
Okay, real simple. It's life's goals and your strengths. Now, when we talk about life's goals, when you hear that life's goals, you think for your whole entire life, what you're going to do from now until forever. But so many times we forget about those little details that go along the way, the steps that we have and the steps that we take to...
Keep going.
And the steps that we take to go to the next level. See, sometimes, and this is me, because I'm a visionary,
right.
I'll look way out into the future and forget about those little bitty steps that I need to take to get there. And with life goals, we got to get past that and look at what's going on the next day.
Yeah, it is. I'm that way too. I'm a visionary. I am. We talked about it last time. I am not a detail person. I mean, trust me, I need somebody in my life to dot I's and cross T's because crap will not get done. You know? But the thing is, if we just sit there and dot I's and cross T's, we never get anywhere.
Exactly.
But we were talking, before we came on and said, here's some things that happen. If we're constantly looking out, what do we miss?
Exactly. We miss everything in life. And also, we'll miss those important clients as well if we're not watching it, if we're not careful. I'll just give myself one example. I was so busy trying to plan out my projections for the whole year, right, that I had 3 clients sitting right in front of me that was like, man, I was waiting for you to call me.
Yeah.
What's going on? And I was like, wow, how could I have missed that? So really be careful when you use that life's goals, and know that life's goals don't mean 16 years from now, but it can mean what you're doing tomorrow.
Yeah, when I sit down with my clients, I don't have them really look 10 years. As far as I have my clients look is 3 years, because I don't think we can really see
Exactly.
It's just a guess. This is just a guess.
A projection.
Yeah, and it's a projection based on what? It's BS numbers that we got right today, and we think we can get there. Because I was putting together a business plan last night for White Boys and Whiskeys, and I'm sitting there going, oh my God, really where are we going to be? I know where I want us to be, and I know what I'm trying to do. Right. But when we go sit there and look at it, when somebody works with you, how do you kind of rein them in a little bit and say, all right, yeah, life goals are important, looking out there is important, but today's important too.
Well, see, for me, a lot of times people use goals sometimes for excuses not to deal with what they're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
See, they want to skip over what's going on right now that's not going well, and they want to go way out to the future when they think it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So instead, let's reel those life goals in and let's talk about the stuff that's sitting in front of you right now. What's on your plate right now? Let's not talk about the meal that you're going to have tomorrow, but let's talk about what's on your plate right now that you got to finish.
Yeah, and that's really important, because as business owners, there's so much minutia we can get caught in.
Yes.
And the minutia can just keep us there, and keep us stuck. But as visionaries like us, we've got to see where we're going.
Exactly.
Because if we don't know where we're going, we're never going to get there.
Exactly.
But in order to do that, we need people to be able to help us get to where we want to go. So we've got to have an idea where we want to go. It's kind of like going on vacation, right?
Exactly. Like, I don't want to go on vacation and then forget to pack my bag.
Well, you know what I mean? Here's the thing is, I'm going to the beach. I don't want to pack for the mountains.
Exactly.
And I used to tell people there, when I was a financial advisor, it's like, look, if you're going to let me put together your financial goals, you're going to live on the beach, you're going to have a boat, and you're going to go fishing, and you're going to, drink margaritas and smoke cigars.
That sounds great.
I know it does. Who wouldn't want that?
I need to talk to you later. We need to get that together.
Who wouldn't want that? But the problem is, you may be a mountain person. And when people are coming to you and they're looking for you to help them move through their vitals, the vitals are important. How do you really help them decide this part on the LNS? How do you help them work through it?
Well, the biggest thing is just having self-awareness.
Okay.
I think so many times, again, like I said, I think we skip over what's going on in our lives today because of certain pain points. But the one thing I always want people to understand is pain is just an alarm to get you to be able to see, hey, something's off, something's wrong, and I need to address it. Don't just forget about the pain. Don't just anesthetize the pain, but look at what's causing the pain so that you can deal with it right now so that then you can achieve those goals that you have in the future.
Well, that's, we're both athletes. We used to both play sports in the day. And there's a difference between pain and being hurt, right?
Yes.
And what's the difference, and how does that help us in business?
Well, the biggest thing with pain and being hurt or injured, like I play with pain all the time. And you know what, as leaders and as visionaries and as business people, entrepreneurs, or even if you have a career, there are days that you're going to have to do things that are very uncomfortable that you don't want to do so that you can get to that goal that you've set. And actually, let me ask you something. If you never went through anything that was hard, man, what is there to celebrate once you reach that goal? There's nothing to celebrate. It was too easy.
You don't know.
So just understand that you're going to go through some things that are going to be rough, that's going to be tough, but that's where people like me come in to give you that plan, to help you get through it so you can get to where you really want to be.
Yeah, there was a show I watched on Netflix. It was actually out of Korea. And I think it was called the Fit 100.
Yes.
And it was amazing, wasn't it? And it's about what is the perfect physique. But watching the pain, there was pain. Pain equals growth.
Yes. You gotta have it.
You've got to have it. And I can't remember where I was yesterday. We were talking about, the butterfly and, butterfly emerging from a chrysalis cocoon. Exactly. It has to go through that pain. If you help it through it, it doesn't finish its transformation.
Exactly.
And as business owners and as humans, as much as pain sucks, we got to go through it, right?
You got to go through it. Listen, I'm not only a life coach, but I also go by the moniker of a transition coach.
Right.
And so many times people don't want to transition. They don't want to change. They want to be so rigid, but you don't realize that change is the thing that's going to take you to the next level. That's going to help you be the best person that you can absolutely be. Think about it. Opportunities come, But if you stay the same, you won't be in the place where you can even take advantage of it.
Yeah.
You'll even never be able to even realize it. So many times we get so caught up, and that's when we get into our strengths. The last thing in vitals, our strengths. Knowing what our strengths are, right? Being able to lean on those strengths when we're going through that time of pain.
Yeah. Well, it goes back, I was, a mentor taught me something called B times do equals have.
Yeah.
We know what we want. We know what we want to have.
Exactly.
All right. So that's our end goal. We talked about where do we want to go.
Exactly.
We pretty much know what we need to do.
Yeah.
The hardest part is becoming that person, and that's where you go to. Understanding your strengths, and if we got to understand where I'm strong, where I'm not strong. We talked about it in our last session. How do we bring in complementary people to help us? Because we're not going to be good at everything, and we don't want to be good at everything. Because if we don't work in that strength zone, we're inefficient, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing about it is this: if you're working in a company and you have a partner or you have several people working on you, you need to be working in those strengths so that you can actually enhance your partners, so that your business can grow, so that you can add more value to your business. If you're not operating in those strengths on a daily basis, then you're not really being the best person you could be, and now the company is not the best it can be, and now your services are compromised, and then people will start looking at you kind of funny, and you won't make that money that you need to make, which I know that's important to you.
About
Come on.
But it is. I got our new company, Whiteboards and Whiskey, and we're taking it global, and we're doing this thing. And my partner Chris is in Australia, and I'm fairly good at marketing messaging. I kind of have a good idea what to say, but don't make me build a website. Don't make me build this. Chris gets in and brilliance.
Yeah.
And brilliance. But if I did it, it would drain my energy, right?
Yeah.
It just wouldn't. And we talked about your basketball career last time. If I made you sit out at the top of the key and dribble and shoot 3-pointers, how often would we win?
No, we wouldn't win. We wouldn't win. I'd have fun, but we wouldn't win.
You're not Seth Curry.
Exactly.
But, if we sat around out there and, we had our point guard doing what he needed to do, you're being your power forward, throwing elbows, Bill Lane beer, we're both Midwest guys. I go with my just the bad boys. I used to love that. Just go in there, be rough and tough and tumble, and do what you need to do. Get you the ball inside the paint. You're going to score.
Exactly. You're
going to score all the time.
Every time.
And that's what makes it easy. So now when business owners want to get a hold of you, they're gonna get you, and they're gonna go learn to play the game that they got to go. They're gonna check their vitals. How do they get a hold of you, man? And what are they gonna get?
Okay, the best way to get a hold of me is getting to my website, which is expressyourperspective.com. It has all my resources. It has a free group, a free Facebook group, which is called My 7. It's great, 7 things in 7 days. And also it has the vitals out there. There's a link there, click it, there's an ebook. Find out what your vitals are so that you can go to the next level. Also, my number's on the screen. And man, I'd love to talk to you and help you get, just know more about yourself and be more self-aware. Oh, and by the way, one extra thing I wanted to add it. Drake Bulldogs, my alma mater, made the tournament this year.
Made the tournament? All right,
Let's go, baby.
All right. Who they play? Where are they going to go? Where are they going to be seed?
I don't know. We're going to find out.
We'll find out.
Let's go.
My alma mater they didn't even make the conference tournament. Central Michigan Chippewas, we did not have a very good season this year, but I am a big University of Michigan fan, and I think it's going to be short. I think it's going to be short-lived. I just don't know. It is what it is. But if you want to go something fun, if you follow me on Facebook, Michael Rager on Facebook, or if you follow teachyourbusinessfish.com, we got something called Cigars and Old Fashions. This guy and me will probably be sipping an old fashioned and having a cigar soon. It's a really fun Friday afternoon getaway for business owners, for other business owners to talk to each other and just get out and just meet each other. Because guess what? If we don't meet each other, we can't change those goals. We can't change what we need to do, and we got to build relationships.
Exactly.
We've only met a few weeks ago, man. We're just like brothers from different mothers, and I'm just the short one, and but that's where you need to go. So I'm Michael Rager, your business guide. Eric Harrison here, man. You got to learn from this man. Follow him on Facebook. Follow him on social media. Listen to what he has to say and go change your business. We're here on the let's do that. We're here on Biz Talk TV on the NowMedia Television networks. We're going to be right back after this.
Working through the legal system is challenging and risky, especially if you don't have the right attorney at your side. Hi, my name is Sonia Aston, and I'm an attorney with over 30 years of experience. I've helped small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to make sure that their legal rights and interests are protected. As general counsel for you and your organization, I can draft and review solid contracts, minimize the risk of litigation, review and prepare comprehensive business succession plans, or help you navigate your company with the local, state, and federal government. Take a decisive step today. I'm here to make sure your legal rights are protected and you have a peace of mind that you deserve.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business guide and host, Michael Rager, here on the NowMedia Television Networks. Hey, I'm excited. We've got my good buddy, Leo Simpson. Leo, how are you today, my friend?
Doing very well. How about yourself?
Man, I can't complain, man. This has been awesome. It's been an awesome show so far. I can't wait to see what kind of great things you're going to bring to it. All right, so we're talking about the relationship between family life and business life. It's a different relationship, right? So what do people think about, this relationship, and how should it look?
To be honest, most people don't even think there is a relationship. We kind of deal with family life and business life like the separation of church and state, right? And the reality is there is a dynamic between these two. And this goes back to what we talked about, a couple of weeks ago with regard to work-life balance. The reality is that work life is a type of life, which is why in the context of family business life mastery, we deal with categorizing them as family life and business life. You can say work life, you can say career life, professional life. Nonetheless, there needs to be a distinction. That distinction is important because when you distinguish what they are, then you can look at them for what they are independently, but then you can see how they actually provide any sort of value to one another. So most people really don't think there is a relationship between family life and business life. And as a result, they position themselves not to really get the value out of family life and business life as they should.
Well, what happens, I want to go, can I go off subject just a little bit?
Absolutely.
What happens when family life starts affecting business life and business life starts affecting family life? Not in a positive way. I want to go in the negative way.
Yeah. So one of the things that I talk about is I solve the problem of family life crashing and burning while business life is thriving and vibing. Right. However, there's somewhat of an illusion of business life thriving and vibing because if you go back to one of the tactics and tools of perspective that I gave, I said family life requires how did I put it? Family life requires a majority of quality of time over quantity of time, and business life requires more of a quantity of time than quality of time, right? So what happens is the person who has the quality of time and therefore the source of life is needed to give quantity of time in business. And that means that you have to be very engaged, very aware, very energized for the work you do. And what happens is if family life is not working like it should, you might be able to give energy, but you're not able to give the true essence of value in your business life because there's a problem in a very pivotal environment of yours that is nagging you that you're not solving, and you're having to deal with it within the context of having to solve other problems that you get rewarded for in a tangible sense. But the same thing happens that once you give your energy and effort in the business world, to go back to family, you don't have the thriving and vibing, but the crashing and burning. There's this lack of energy and desire to deal with the family environment because you've neglected to deal with the problems for so long, to where it's like, man, when I get here, now you just feel like it's overwhelming. You don't know what to do. And that's how a lot of times divorce ends up being the reality when it comes to marriage, or that there's just a disregard for the relationships between the children and the parents because of not being able to give the energy to each one appropriately at the time that is needed.
Yeah, I see it both in, actually family life you're talking about. I see it in single people too. I see it in single people when their outside life is not going the way it should be. It can definitely come in and affect the business life. One of the things that I know I've had to deal with sometimes, and we talked about it, in private, is how do we, before we go in that door, either to the house or to the business, when something is not the way we want to go, how do we go shift it? How do we take it and say, look, I've got to go in here and be my best. How do I leave the crap behind me? How do you teach people to do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll lead into it by addressing that point you made about single people. Like, what people don't understand about family life crashing and burning is that it's not just related to the immediate family. It's also related to the aspect of the extended family. It deals with parental relationships, sibling relationships, aunts, uncles, the grandparents. Like, it deals with all of that. And in context, you talk about how do you help people shift. I'll give you a perfect example. And this is related to my extended family. So I had this cousin, I don't know if I talked about it here or not. I have this cousin that we're very close, grew up together, almost grew up like brothers, things of that sort. But this is one of those cousins that you'd want to fight, okay, sometimes, the way he would deal with things. Well, I had this issue with this particular cousin to where I would always get in conflicts, especially when we would be in conversation, because a lot of times he want to try to overtalk me versus me, kind of share what I'm sharing and, going from there. Well, there was this situation a couple years ago, maybe even a year ago, where we were in, interaction with each other. And as a result of what was going on in our conversation, a question was asked of me, and I went in the mode of, hey, let me answer this question, right? And as I began to answer the question, this cousin kept interrupting me. I was like, hey, man, let me finish what I'm saying. And what ended up happening was there was an altercation between he and me. Why? The altercation was because I was trying to use energy that was consistent with my professional environment in a family environment. And I didn't really have the distinguishing of my focus and my energy to ensure that, hey, this is just a casual conversation. I don't need to deal with this as I'm talking in a meeting or having to answer the question of a client to provide value to them. And that's how I was dealing with it. So to get to your question, how do we make the shift of I'm getting ready to go in the door? How do I have the mindset that when I go in this door, I'm here to give what I have to give? I said this way, put on the right hat. Okay, when you walk in the door as a man, a husband, a father, I need to put on the husband and father hat. And that means that in the same way, when I walk into my office or my building or my facility related to my work, I'm thinking about what role do I play and what value I need to bring. And that's the same thing when you walk into the home. What role do I have to play and what value must I bring? It's really that simple. However, when we don't understand relationship between the two, we don't really understand the value we need to bring to it.
Yeah, it's a really conscious decision, and it has to be a very conscious decision. Because I think it goes back to we talked about one of my clients came up with something that I know we still need to patent this thing. We talked about that attitude tree and hanging that leaf up and do I take it? And what it was is if something is bothering you outside the office, there's got to be a mechanism for you, especially if you're the leader of the company. You're the CEO, you're the managing partner, you're the president, you're something. If there's crap outside, that crap needs to stay outside, right? Yeah. It cannot come inside that door.
Conscious decision. That's powerful, man. You know, you were dropping some bombs of questions with Kat, and now you're dropping the bombs of perspectives with Leo. The power of what you said, conscious decision. Here's the thing. When it comes to business, we have a tendency to deal with the very construct of our mechanisms, the momentum we can create, the money we earn, the measures that we produce, and all those different things. And those things are valuable. They are necessary. They are vital. But it's the mindset that we have that really positions us to create the value within the construct of all of those. And so when we understand that the way we think, what we believe, how we feel, and being able to have a conscious decisional dealing with those things within the context of what our assignment is, our role is, what the expectations of our interactions are, then we can see ourselves move forward. I love to say it this way. Nobody's going to go to work expecting to lose. But why do we go home expecting to lose? You have to expect to win at home. You have to know I'm bringing value home. Matter of fact, it's not just I'm bringing value home. I got value from home before I left to go to work. And we've got to put it in the proper context, the proper perspective, and see that, again, there's a fueling between these two. And again, it goes back to understanding the relationship, more so that they have a relationship between one another.
Yeah, that's so important. And, you know, we've talked about it before again, is a lot of time people get up and they give their best, especially when they're going to a job. They go give the best to people who really don't care about them, and they come home defeated, angry, depressed, and give their worst to the people that really care about them. And it's so...
Oh, man. So watch this. When you give regard to what you said, there's the reality of, when you wake up in the morning, you don't wake up with your comrades at work. You wake up with your family, right? Mm-hmm. And so you wake up with people not only who care about you, but you care about them. Why would you care about those people and then not take the depth of value and care of those people to work with you, so that you bring that same level of care and energizing of care to the work environment? That's where, when you understand the relationship between family life and business life, that they have this ebb and flow, this fueling, this flowing, this focusing that's in between them, then you can get the sense that there's never really this sense of, I shouldn't like these people over here, because I really shouldn't even be at this particular place of employment if there's no care, right? If I'm there just because of the compensation and what it is that I can consume, hey, that's the problem. Now, don't get me wrong. You can make a contribution there, but your contribution is going to be limited to what you're getting out of it and what you're producing in numbers. You've got to see that there's value beyond just the exchange. And that goes back to what Kat was talking about versus the transactional versus the transformational. When you deal with family life and business life within the context of the relationship that they play in fueling, flowing, and focusing one another, you engage life at a transformational level beyond that you get just from the transactions we engage.
Well, that's awesome, man. We've been both dropping bombs today. So tell people how to get a hold of you. We got to get out and get to the next section so we can see what other bombs we can get today from Kristen.
Absolutely. Listen, go to my website, team3l.com. It'll get you to all of my social media stuff. Actually, you can see Michael right there. We are having a great time. We got some great things coming up here soon. 90 conversations in 9 days at the beginning of April. And so we want to be able to give you some value in being able to experience mastery between family life and business life. And you can join our community. That'll help you as well.
All right, man. Well, Leo, thanks a lot, man. It's awesome to always have you. I'm Michael Rager, your business guide here on the NowMedia Television Networks. We're going to be back right after this. We're going to be talking to Kristen Gunderson, and we're going to talk about some important things about the financial side of your business. Don't go away.
Working through the legal system is challenging and risky, especially if you don't have the right attorney at your side. Hi, my name is Sonia Aston, and I'm an attorney with over 30 years of experience. I've helped small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to make sure that their legal rights and interests are protected. As general counsel for you and your organization, I can draft and review solid contracts, minimize the risk of litigation, review and prepare comprehensive business succession plans, or help you navigate your company with the local, state, and federal government. Take a decisive step today. I'm here to make sure your legal rights are protected and you have a peace of mind that you deserve.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your host and guide, Michael Rager, here on the NowMedia Television Networks. All right, we got Kristen Gunderson. We're going to talk about some important things. Numbers. Kristen, how you doing today?
Great. Thank you so much for having me on the show today, Michael.
Oh, of course. So, all right, today we want to talk about how do we figure out what numbers do we need to be tracking to make our goals a reality? What's the most important ones?
It all it kind of starts with, let's figure out where you want your goals to be. Like, what type of goals do you have? And they can be personal goals, they can be business goals. And then what I do is I really kind of sit down and I analyze the financials for the business and figure out where they've been, what they're used to be doing. And then I plug in where they want their goals. They may want to be able to, I've had some clients who want to start investing in rental properties and they need a 20% down payment. So I find out what that down payment is that they need. They could want to have some cosmetic surgery done. They could want to buy a rental home or like a vacation home that they want to rent out later, or they may want to expand their business into a new location. So I find out how much that is to get going. And then I use my tools that I have and my analytical skills, and I plug in what needs to happen and then what other numbers need to happen. Like, how much more do we need to have in sales? Do we need to start marketing more and advertising to get some more leads in that will generate more sales? Or do we need to maybe go up on the price a little bit? Do we need to look where we can start cutting costs elsewhere?
So when we're trying to look at the difference between personal goals and business goals, last time we talked a little bit about profit first. Now, does this kind of meld into the profit first, stuff that you do and just takes it to the next step?
Yes, it certainly can. Profit First is a tool that I use, and it's very, very helpful. Like, sometimes my clients, they just spend everything that they have in their bank account. They may be making good money and they're living a really great lifestyle because of it. But then when taxes come around, they don't have any money for taxes saved up because they literally spend it all. So what I use with the Profit First program is I literally put the taxes and save the taxes and put that aside into a savings account that they can't see. But when the taxes are due, it's there to go ahead and pay it. For instance, I had one client when we first got started with this, is he owed $14,000 in taxes, and this was several years in a row, and he spent the entire year paying off his taxes. But I couldn't get him to put money aside for quarterly estimated taxes for he wouldn't owe in the future. I got him on Profit First, and not only were we able to pay off that $14,000 for that prior tax year, we were also able to keep on saving for the taxes for the current year and paying the estimated quarterly taxes for him. And he ended up getting like a refund of like $100 or something, which is right where you want to be. You don't want to be paying extra money into the IRS, but you don't want to owe more than $1,000 either, because then you have to pay interest and penalties to the IRS when your taxes are due.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about getting a little bit bigger in our business. Okay, businesses start to grow, and okay, we've got you helping us on the bookkeeping side. But there's a time when a business has to start looking at a CFO, and there's a fractional CFO option. When should businesses start looking at that, and what's the benefit of having a fractional CFO versus somebody just functioning as a bookkeeper?
Yeah, that's a great question. When a business is about a very minimum 250,000 in revenue, more like 500,000 in revenue, that's when they should really start looking at getting a CFO, a fractional CFO. And it doesn't mean that you aren't getting someone like you would be able to, like if you were Walmart, like basically a fractional CFO means that you get them for a fraction of the price because they're working on other accounts too. So you're getting the same expertise and everything that a real like a big business would get, not a real business, but like a big business would get. You're just getting them at a fraction of the price for the small businesses because you can't afford a big CFO like they cost like $150,000, $250,000 a year in annual salary. So you're getting them for a fraction of the price. But for instance, I had a client that I met with yesterday, and they've been doing really, really great. Like, you know how we talk about if you have a 10% net profit, you're doing good. Like that's kind of unusual for small businesses. Like that's something that you should strive for. And this company came to me and they had like a 33% net profit. They're doing amazing. However, they're not paying themselves either. Like, they're paying themselves very, very little. And we broke it down for them. I'm like, okay, like how much are you making an hour? And they're like $16.50 an hour. And I'm like, okay, how much do your employees make? And they were like, oh, about $25 or $30 an hour. And I'm like, how much would it cost if you were not to be working in the business, but for you to hire someone to replace you in the business? And he's like, about $40 an hour. And I'm just like, then why aren't you paying yourself $40 an hour? You have a 33% net profit. You guys aren't living high on the hog, by any means. Like, even if you do pay yourself what you would pay someone else to come in and take your job, I literally calculated your net income would still be like 21%. Like you can afford to pay yourself more. And hence now you can afford to buy that land that you want to out in the country, or you can afford to maybe buy this land that you want to develop for your company and split it off. Like we have options now. And those are the types of things that I talk about with my clients. I figure out what their goals are, where their money is, where it's going. And then we break it down into doable action steps each month of what do we need to do next.
Awesome. So I want to go a little bit deeper into CFO. What will a CFO start doing for a business versus, an accountant or bookkeeper? What is a CFO going to look at?
Well, a bookkeeper, an accountant, or CPA, they are all doing compliance work. They're doing stuff that makes the IRS happy to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing as a business owner. The CFO, and it's all past work. Everything's in the past. They're reporting on numbers in the past. What a CFO does is, yes, they need to know those numbers. They come in and they analyze them, but they are forward looking. They are futuristic. They want to know exactly what your mission statement is. They want to know what your goals are, your personal and your business, because the reason why you're in business is because you have personal goals like that you want to meet. You either want to have more free time. I talk to people all the time and like, I don't want to be in the business doing the day-to-day stuff anymore. I just kind of want to be overseeing it. And that's perfect. That's what the CEO of the business needs to be doing. And I take that vision that they have and all their goals and everything, and by using the numbers and analyzing it, I make it a reality, and I tell them what they need to do by analyzing the numbers and looking into the future of what needs to happen in order to make their dreams a reality.
So, no, I love it, because I've got clients right now that they've gone to $2, $3, $4 million, and they're not even sure how they got there. And they're in construction, they've got some doing, and that's where they've hired me, and we kind of working with the people that they have on staff so far. But one of the guys I mentioned is saying, hey, you got to look at a fractional CFO. You've got to bring somebody on. They're in a construction business, and it's like, how do we leverage? They pour concrete. They do a lot of concrete work. So it's how do we leverage concrete pricing? How do we look at metal pricing and stuff for rebar? There's so many different things as a business owners. We don't realize that we can go project, right? We don't have to always look backward. We need to look forward.
Exactly. And the big businesses, remember, 99.9% of all businesses in America are small businesses. But the big businesses like the Walmarts and the CSVs and, all the big businesses, UPS, like they all have a CFO working for them because they need it. They need to be able to look into the future. So small businesses deserve to have that same level of expertise working with them also.
Yeah, if we continue to look in the past, it's never going to get us anywhere. And it's great having somebody that can understand exactly our vision, where do we want to go, why do we want to go there, and how do we want to go there. But a CFO can understand some financial tools that we can utilize to help us get there. And I think that's the important thing, and that's the skill set you bring, right?
Yeah, most small business owners, they're really, really great at what they do. And they're probably not great at numbers. Not everyone is great at numbers, and that's okay. That's why you need someone like a CFO to come in to be able to help you.
Yeah, exactly. So if people are looking to get help from you, Kristen, how do they get a hold of you and where do they find you?
The best way is to go ahead and get your cell phone out and text the word WIN, W-I-N, to 855-798-3350. That will take you to a text message where you can fill out a form, and I will give you a call, or you can just find me on social media. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram at Gunderson's Bookkeeping.
All right, so where are you going to find you out in public? Because I know you're out there. I see you all the time. Where are people here in the Houston area going to find you in public?
So the next event, we're going to be meeting on Wednesdays, the third Wednesday of the month and the first Wednesday of the month. One's in the morning, one's in the evening. The best thing to do is to find our group on Facebook. It's called Waller County Networking.
Awesome, awesome. So get out there and go see Kristen, go meet her face to face, shake her hand, and go learn from her. And if you're really smart, you'll probably go hire her, and that's the right thing is going to happen, right, Kristen?
Yes, thanks, Michael.
All right, well, you have a great day. We're going to be back in just a minute. I'm Michael Rager, your business guide and host here on Biz Talk TV, here on the NowMedia Television Network.
According to the FBI, a robbery occurs every 13 seconds. Homes and businesses without a reliable security system are 300% more likely to be burglarized. Alert 360 provides custom-tailored rock-solid security solutions to residential and commercial customers. Whether it's home security, fire and carbon monoxide detection, flood protection, connected senior care, managed video surveillance solutions, 24/7 alarm monitoring, and life safety, Alert 360 is your ideal solution. In addition, Alert 360 has smart home and business integrations like access control and video shield for a complete peace of mind, protecting what matters the most and reducing energy costs with our top-of-the-line automatic scheduling functions. Alert 360 offers security services discounts to military personnel, veterans, first responders, educators, and hospital personnel. Don't be a victim. Take a strong step today. Call Rosana Torres at 832-863-8574 for your free consultation.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Michael Rager, your business guy. Man, that was a great show. I don't know what you thought about it, but I'm telling you, that was so much fun. I love having the opportunity to get with Kat and Leo and Eric and Kristen and just talk about the things that really matter to you, the business owner, and have fun doing it. And it was really nice. I think everybody lobbed me softball things that I could actually contribute because I had a whole bunch of smart people here, and they actually let me talk and say something nice. So, but the important thing for me is, you as business owners, we got to grow and grow profits. We've been talking about profits for a while. We're talking about revenue. That's the important thing. And we talked a lot today about relationships inside your business, outside your business, people you should bring in to help you build your business so you can get profits. One of the things that I do is I do something called Whiteboards and Whiskey. That's what it's all about. It's bringing business owners together to actually talk about. We talk about it. Ditch the small talk and get down to business. We do what we need to do. We go have a drink and we sit down and we hash out the number one business problem that's going on in that room today. The number one business problem that's going on in that room today. And it's fun. We just got to go out and have fun. That's what business is about. If you look me up and look at what I do, I've got whiteboards and whiskey. I've got Teach Your Business to Fish. I like to go out and have myself a good time. And that's what it's all about. Here it is in Houston, the second Friday of the month. We meet over at Federal American Grill over on I-10 at 2 p.m. We got a whole bunch of business owners. We do something called Cigars and Old Fashions. Come on out, hang out, meet some good people. It's pretty much all business owners. And it's all business owners getting there just talking about what makes them successful and why they're successful. And that's what it's about. You got to start seeing different perspectives in your business, why you work, why what works for you, but why things work for other people, and how we can integrate that into our business. We talked about it today with Eric. How do we go look at our big goal and take some things that we might find out today to help us get there? So I'm Michael Rager, your business guide. Join us next time here on Biz Talk TV on the NowMedia Television Network.
This has been a NowMedia Television feature presentation. All rights reserved.